My first job, I worked for a PLE group. It was a private law enforcement group as an undercover agent. But because of the neck pain I had and how physical the job was, I had to stop doing that. And I ended up working for JP Morgan Chase in mortgages, which makes complete sense since I was an English major, right? October 2003, I was 25 years old. It was a Friday evening. I was at a work event, and we went out for dinner and drinks afterwards. A friend drove us home. There was 5 of us, and on the way home, we were in another major accident. I have a lot of luck with cars. An accident. We were T-boned. I woke up in the hospital. I was told that I was okay and that I could go home. So I called my roommate. They came and picked me up, and I went to bed. I woke up Saturday morning. I had slight pain in my neck, but there was something like really kind of wrong. I had no feeling in my entire left arm or hand. It was like they were invisible, and my arm just hung there. I could not move it. One day I made an appointment to see my primary care doctor, and once he checked me out and looked at me, he said, "Sweetheart, you're gonna need to see a neurosurgeon." So Wednesday, I got into the neurosurgeon. He showed that I broke my C4, C5 vertebrae, and that it was impinging on my spinal column, which is why I was paralyzed. So within 30 minutes, they had me in surgery. When I woke up, my surgeon was there, and he raised my left elbow up, and he asked if I could hold it. And I could. And he started to tear up, which I started to cry because I didn't know why he was crying, and it kind of scared me. And he told me I had like less than a 7% chance of getting my arm back because it was just so long afterwards. So I just remember feeling like how lucky I was in that moment. But what I didn't realize is this was the end of my healthy life as I knew it, and I was becoming permanently disabled at this point. Once I was out of the hospital, I went back to work within 2 weeks. I didn't want to sit at home, and I figured I could use make calls and sit at a desk. But I soon realized it was hard for me to physically sit at a desk for 5 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day. Like a knife, constant knife like stabbing in my neck. And the pain was just gnawing, and it just became too much. Also, I had very little control. After talking with my boss, I decided to take a few weeks off and focus on physical therapy. Again, I was 25 years old. I have never given up anything or quit anything in my life. Yet here I was, and I couldn't sit at my desk, talking to customers. I felt ashamed and embarrassed. No one gives you a playbook on what to do when you lose your health at such a young age, or at really any age, and your quality of life. Again, I thought I would focus on physical therapy, get better, and everything would go back to normal. Both physically and mentally is the toughest thing I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. As I went along, I slowly, progressively got worse. After 2.5 years of intense physical therapy, though, I was able to get full rotation and use my left arm and hand again. I never regained full feeling. It's kind of like spotty. From 2003 to 2012, I would have a total of 5 neck surgeries. So I'm fused from my C3 to C7. And I had 4 rods put in at my C6, C7, and a laminectomy. A little picture of how little understanding and awareness I had of my health issues, or maybe it's better stated, I couldn't grasp the severity and seriousness of my health issue. It's a little side story. So after my 4th neck surgery, which was in like 2010, I had my C6, C7 fused. I started to become frustrated and bored from inactivity, so I had this smart idea that I would take Kyokushin karate classes. Kyokushin karate, in case you don't know, is a style of karate originating in Japan, and it's the most powerful and physically demanding types of karate. And again, I had a hard time wrapping my head around that I was disabled. In my mind, I still thought I was a college athlete competing. So I started classes around 7 to 8 months after the 4th neck surgery. On this specific day in class, we were learning how to defend ourselves if we were in a knife fight. Because that's so important to learn how to defend yourself in a knife fight. We're gonna all need that at some point. I was 32 years old at the time. My sparring partner was 18 and a young man. One of the drills, one of the persons would leg sweep your legs out from underneath you, and we also learned how to fall correctly. So I did exactly how I was supposed to fall for those 8 or 9 times. But that 10th leg sweep, let's just say I wasn't paying attention. I just remember being knocked off my feet, the wind being knocked out of me, and my neck violently snapped back and forth very quickly. And like I had one thought in my mind: oh sugar, this is really bad. I knew something was wrong immediately, and tears kind of welled up my eyes. By the way, my sensei classmates had no clue that I had 4 neck surgeries or 2. I broke my neck twice before. So sensei stood over me, and normally he was very militant, loud, and sneaky, but he looked down at me with a lot of concern. Whatever look I had on my face, he knew something was really wrong. I asked if I could just lay there for a minute and not move, because I was so afraid, honestly, to move. And it was for good reason, because the moment I did, there was an immediate sharp pain in my neck. I asked permission to leave, and I never went back to practicing Kyokushin karate. I wear the shirt though all the time, I love it. But this is a theme for me. I constantly push boundaries, which was fine when I was healthy. In my healthy life, I was an adrenaline junkie. I loved to jump out of airplanes and skydive, scuba dive, rock climb, go whitewater rafting, and that's as a healthy person. But now I had major neck issues and health issues. So that day taught me something very important. It taught me that I had to stop thinking I was a normal, healthy person, and that I could do whatever I wanted when I wanted. And I had to stop making stupid decisions where my health could be made even worse, because this could lead to serious health consequences and make my health worse. I mean, what was I thinking taking Kyokushin karate class for 78 months after, surgery? And this is a big lesson that would cost me big time. Appointment with my neurosurgeon, because in which they take the x-ray of my hardware for each appointment, and my neurosurgeon walked into the room with a half amused smile and half really pissed off smile, or look on his face, and he said, "Jonelle, do I even want to know?" I sheepishly smiled at him, and my doctor continues on to tell me that he has never had a patient break their fusion. And what in the world did I do to break this? I told him he didn't want to know. He was not happy to hear that I did something so stupid as to take Kyokushin karate. And I wasn't happy once I learned that I was going to need yet another neck surgery to stabilize the bone-on-bone movement I was having from breaking it. So I would have to go through the back of my neck, which is a more painful surgery up front. All my other 4 surgeries, neck surgeries, were up front. So in 2012, that was the last time I had neck surgery, and that's when they put 4 rods and the C6-7 and did a lumpectomy to create more space.